come to the part 4 and the final part of modeling a low poly car in Blender. So in this part we are going to be creating this short animation that you see over here. So in the part 1 we actually modeled this car, in the part 2 we added in some constraints, and in the part 3 we added in some materials to make the car to look unique. All these parts, the link to all these parts will be in the description below, so if do well to check it if you haven't checked on those parts. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to do here, I will go back into the solid view. Okay, then I will scroll out, then I'll go on Shift C to bring the cursor to the center. Then I'll go on Z for the wireframe, just tap on Z, then wireframe. Then I will go on Shift A to add in a mesh, and the mesh should be a plane. So now what I will actually do here, I will go on G, Y, and bring the plane out. So we tap on Z and go back to the solid view. So this plane will actually serve as the road. So I will select the plane and tab into the edit mode. Okay, so what I will actually do here, I will go on Ctrl R to add in a loop cut. I will left click to confirm, then right click to place the loop cut at the center. Then I will go on the vertex select mode. I will select this vertex, hold down my shift button and select this vertex, and I will go on delete. So delete vertices. Okay, so I will go on A to select all. I will come over here to the modifier, add in a mirror modifier. Okay, so now what I will do here, just go on Ctrl R to add in a loop cut, left click to confirm, bring the loop cut to somewhere around this side. Okay, so I'll go to the face select mode. I'll select this face. I'll go to 1 on my number pad. Then I'll go on E, Z to extrude it up a little bit to something like this. Okay, so as you can see, we have something like this. Now I'll also do something here. I'll go on Ctrl R. I'll add in a loop cut, bring it to somewhere around here. Go on Ctrl R again, add in another loop cut and bring it to somewhere around here. So what I will actually do here, I will tab into the object mode and make sure I'm in the material panel. So I will add in a material. I'll just come here and plus in a material, new. Okay, I will name this gray road. Okay, and hit enter. Okay, then I will tab into the object mode and make sure everything is selected. Then I will click on A to assign. I'll select this, then A to assign. I will come over here and make it something like black, and I'll come over here to assign. Okay, so why we are not actually seeing the color here, because we are in the solid view. So we actually come to the material view over here, and now we can see how it looks. Okay, so I'll actually make sure that I am in the face select mode, and I'll select this face over here. I will plus in a new material, new. Okay, then I will make this yellow. I'll make the base color to be yellow, something like that. Then I'll click on assign. Okay, then another thing I want to do over here, I'll go on number part 7 for the top view, shift this backward so we can see our car, and we scroll in shift this backward. Okay, then I will go on Ctrl R to add in a loop cut and use my scroll wheel to make about 6 loop cuts. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, like about 7 loop cuts. Then I will left click to confirm and right click again. Okay, now what we are going to do here, we are going to come to the face select mode. Let's go over to this side. Okay, screw it something like this. So you'll make sure the face select mode is selected. Then you select, let's start from this area. So you select this face, hold down your shift button, select this face. Then you come over here, select this and this, come over to this side, select this and you select this, come over to this side, select this and this. Then you plus in a new material, new, then I will name this like something like white road, white road. Okay, then I'll come to the base color and I'll just leave the base color like that. Then I'll click on assign. Okay, so we should have something like this. Now you tap back into the edit mode and don't forget to save your work. Ctrl S to save, or you can also come over here to file, then save. So now what we are actually going to be doing here, we go on 3 for the right view, bring it over here. Then we double tap A to deselect all. Then we go to the solid view. Okay, then we select this car over here. We go on G, Z and bring it up so it is resting on the Y axis, something like that. Okay, now you select the plane we added, which is the road. Then go on SX to scale it in the X axis. So you scale it to something like this. Okay, now we are going to zoom out to something like this. Then we scale SY to scale it in the Y axis. We just scale it to be very big. Come over to this side. SY, just scale it to be very long. We scroll out again. SY, just scale it to be a bit longer. Okay, so you should be having something like this. I think this should be enough. Okay, so I'll select the car over here. Just select the car, then you hit period on your number pad and it will quickly zoom to it. Now what we are actually going to be doing, we select the car and go on GY, just take it back. Let's zoom out a little bit, take it to somewhere like this. I want to place the car at the extreme end of the road, so I'll go on GY, bring the car backward, something like this. Let's go out again, GY, take it backward. Let's go out again. Okay, GY and take it to the end of the road. So something like this. Now while the car is selected, I'll just hit period on my number pad so it will zoom to it. Okay, so now if we should go to the materials view, let's see how our road look like. So this is how the road should look like. Okay, so we are going to be animating this car so the car move on the road. So what we are just going to be doing here, we come over to this panel over here and we drag up just drag it up. Okay, then we come over to the solid view so the work can be a little bit faster. So just make sure this is at the frame 1, and we want to set the end frame over here. This want to set the end frame to something like 200 and hit enter. So while the body of the car is selected over here, we turn on this auto keyframe. Just turn it on. So while the body of the car is selected and we are at frame 1, so make sure this is turned on. Then we come over to the frame 1, make sure we are starting from the first frame, that is frame 1. Then we come over to here, make sure the car is selected, the body of the car is selected. Then go on I to insert keyframe. Then you insert the location. So let it be the location. Okay. Then what we are actually going to do, we zoom out. Let's come over here to the side view. Then we come over to the last frame, which is 200. Make sure our car is selected. Then we move the car to the end of the road, just GY. Take it to the end of the road. GY. Take it further. Or GY. Take it further. GY. Take it further. Okay, I think we are at the end of the road. So we just leave it to be somewhere around here. Okay, let's take it further. GY. Take it to be somewhere around here. Okay, so we just leave it to be somewhere around here. Now if we come back to this side and we just scroll back to the beginning of the road over here, we should hit play on the keyboard. We can see the car is actually moving. Okay, as you can see, the car is actually moving. Okay, so now let's go back to the beginning. While the car is selected, just hit period on your number pad and it will zoom to it. Now we want to add in a camera around this area, so I will just come over here and click to set my 3D cursor to this area. Now go on Shift A, then I will add in a camera. Okay, then I will go over here and make sure the camera is selected. GZ, move it up a little bit. So I will come over to views, viewpoint, then camera. I will just bring out this panel here. So I'll just bring out this panel over here and come over to view. Then you can see in this side lock camera to view, so I'll just select that. Okay, then I can use my mouse wheel to scroll out to something like this. Just set the camera to be in the place you want it to be. Okay, then once you are satisfied with the way it looks, what you can actually do, just uncheck this lock camera to view, and as you can see, our camera is placed at the right position. So now what we want to do, we will just select the camera over here and hold down Shift and select the car. So make sure you select the camera first, so the car should be the one selected last. So then you go on Ctrl P, then parent to object. So if we should play the animation, you can see the camera move along with it. Okay, I'll come over here. So let's select the camera and we go to views, viewpoint, camera. Okay, so make sure you are in the camera view. Then if we should hit play on our keyboard, you can actually play the animation by clicking on this button here, or you can use the space bar on your keyboard. So if we should hit play on our keyboard, you can see the camera moves along with the car while the car also moves. Okay, and if I should go back to the frame 1 and I come over here to material view, okay, let's see how it looks like. So if I play the animation, this is how it should look. This is how it should look like. Okay, so I will go back to the solid view and just come over to this side. Come over to this side. I will come over to frame 180. I'll just come over here and type in 180. So I'll come over to frame 180. So I want the car to actually decrease in the speed while it reaches this frame 180. So what I will actually do, I will just select the car. Okay, so I'll just select the car, then I'll go on I to insert keyframe, then I will go on location. Okay, so then I will come to the last keyframe over here. Okay, so I'll go on the last keyframe over here. Nice, frame 200. Then I will now go on G, Y, bring the car backward a little bit. So 180 should be here and 200 should be here. I'll bring it back more. Okay, something like this. So if we should play the animation, you can actually see the car reduce in speed before coming to a full stop. Okay, so now let's go back to our camera view, cameras, viewpoint, and camera. Okay, so if I should play the animation, you can see this is what we should have. Okay, so we are actually done with the animation. So we want to actually animate the camera so it can move from one angle to another. So what we are actually going to do, we select the camera. Okay, come over to somewhere like this frame 30, then we go on lock camera to view. So we come over here to frame, somewhere like frame 30, something like this. Make sure the camera is not locked to view. Then you go on R to rotate and Z to rotate in the Z axis, so you can rotate it to somewhere like this. Then double tap G, bring it to somewhere around this side. Okay, then we come over to something like frame 49, or let's come over here to frame 40. Okay, then go on G, double tap G, make sure you are here, don't let your cursor to come over to this side, make sure you are in this side. Then I'll double tap G and bring it to somewhere like this. Then I'll go on R to rotate it to be something like this. Okay, then I'll come over here to frame 58, or let's come over here to frame 54. Then I will go on G, shift Z, So let's only move in the X and the Y axis. So let's bring it to something like this. I want it to actually capture the name on the plate number. I'll go on GZ and bring it down somewhere like this. Now I'll go on G, Shift Z, so it will move only in the X and the Y axis, and bring it to somewhere like this. Okay, then I'll now click on, I will double tap G and just bring it to something like this. Okay, double tap G again, just bring it down. I want it to display the name. Okay, then I'll come over here to frame 64. I'll double tap G and bring it to somewhere around this side. Okay, then I will double tap, I will click on G and Shift Z to move only in the X and the Y axis and bring it out something like this. Then R to rotate it maybe to something like this. Then GZ, bring it up. You can do this according to the animation you want. You must not do the same thing I want to do. Okay, I will come over here to the frame 100. Then I will double tap G and bring the camera to somewhere around this side. Okay, then I'll double tap G. No, I'll tap G, then Shift Z and bring the camera out a little bit to something like this. I'll come over here to frame 132. I will double tap G and bring the camera out to something like this. I'll go on RZ to rotate the camera. Let's rotate it to be something like this. Then G, Shift Z, so we can move the camera to something like around this side. Okay, I will sit up on G, Shift Z, take the camera back a little bit, and GZ to grab it all. Okay, then I will double tap R and rotate it to somewhere around this side. Okay, then I'll come to frame 160. So I will come over to frame 160. Then I'll just rotate this RZ, rotate in the Z axis. Let it just be straight to something like this. Okay, then I'll come over here to frame 170. That we go on G, Shift Z and bring it back. I will go on GY and bring the camera back. Just bring it back. Okay, GY, bring it back. GY, bring it back. Okay, then I'll go on R Z to rotate it to somewhere around this side. Just double tap R to rotate it freely. Okay, then I'll go on G, Shift Z, so I can bring it further to somewhere like this. Okay, then I will come over here to frame 168. I will just go on R to rotate so it can be something like this. Then G, then Shift Z to bring it backward, something like this. Then I will go on, I will double tap R again, just place the camera to be something in this side. Then I will go to the last frame. Okay, I will go to frame 190. frame 190. So I want it to actually capture the subscribe. So I will come to frame 190, and I will go on G, Y, move it forward, R, Y, rotate it to be something like this. Okay, then I will double tap G, bring it to somewhere around this side. Now we'll go on G, Shift Z, so you can only move in the X and the Y axis. Now we'll go on G, Z, bring it down. Okay, so I'll come over to somewhere like frame 192. Then I'll go on R to rotate something like this. Then I'll go on G, Y to bring it to something like this. Then I'll go on R, X to rotate it something like this. Okay, so I think that should be all the animation I want to apply. You go on Ctrl S to save. Make sure you save your work. File, save, viewpoint, we come to camera. Okay, so let us see what our camera is saying. Okay, so if I should play the animation, just use the space bar button on your keyboard, or you can also play the animation from this side. You can see how the camera looks like now. Boom. Okay, so let's go back to the frame 1 and see how this looks like in the material view. So we come over here to the material view, then we hit play on our keyboard, which is the space bar. Let's see how it goes. Just perfect. Okay, so there's another thing I want us to do. I will quickly stop the animation from playing. So there's another thing I want us to do. If you come over here to the render view, you can see how dark it look like. So if we should render this animation, this is how it should look like. So we should add in like some lighting. I'll just quickly scroll out. So I'll come over here, just click here to bring my cursor to this side. Okay, let me go to the solid view so Blender can work faster. Come over here, I'll go on Shift A and add in a light, and this light we should add in sun. Okay, then I'll go on G, Z, and bring it up something like this. So now if we should go to the render view, you can see how it looks. It looks really amazing. Okay, so what we are actually going to be doing here, we will just select the light. Okay, then we hold down Shift and we select the body of the car. Then go on Ctrl P, set parent to object. So if we should move the car, the light moves along with it, as you can see over there. Okay, so now let's come over to the first frame, come to views, viewpoint, camera. Then we play our animation and see how it looks like. So this is how the render video should look like. I will stop the animation. Okay, so now we are done with the animation. So it's time to render. So we come over here to the render properties, to the output property, sorry, not the render property, the output property. Then we scroll down, then this over here we click this file icon. This is actually where the render will be saved. Okay, so you can store this in anywhere you want to store it. So I will actually render this to the desktop. I created a folder which is low poly car, so I will select it and hit accept. Okay, so as you can see here, it's already there. Then the file format, we want to render this as a video, not a picture, so we select ffmpeg video. Okay, so we select that. Then okay, I think that is all. Make sure the color is set to RGB, not BW. BW means black and white, so we don't want to render it in a black and white color, so make sure the color is set to RGB. Okay, so when you are done with all those settings, you come over here to render and you render animation. So Blender will take a lot of time to render this animation, so you just have to be patient.